Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have an all new round of speed reviews. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Alright guys, so the first two products we're going to talk about are products I tried at the very end of August. But I need to play with them more before I could give a final review of the product. The first product is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. So I've definitely been playing with this one quite a ton throughout the month. And I stand by what I said initially. I really do like this. This one is less radiant than the Too Faced Ethereal Light Concealer that came out around the exact same time. But it's still really, really nice under the eyes. I don't think it's super hydrating, but it's very, very comfortable. It's lightweight. It doesn't dry out my under eyes, and it doesn't look crepey at all, even when I put a powder underneath. So I have really been enjoying this one, and I'm glad that she finally has a concealer in her line that I like. Her other concealer I never tried, but I never wanted to. One, because I just didn't like the applicator, and two, I heard really bad things, especially for those of us with dry skin. So I'm very excited that she has a concealer in her line that I could be excited about. And at the same time, I also tried out the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish Powder. I have actually raved about this one because I really love this. So I really do enjoy her original Airbrush Flawless Finish formula. So this one is a translucent version of that powder, and this one is, just like the name says, so brightening on the under eyes. It is beautiful. I don't put this all over my face, but I do definitely on the under eyes, but I do like to drag it right in here too, where my pores are kind of the largest, because this is such an amazing, amazing blurring powder. I have been absolutely loving this one. This one is such a favorite. I've kind of had to remind myself to use the powder that's in my project pan, because this is the one I want to play with. Okay, let's talk about a product that really didn't work out for me this month, and that is the new Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo. I had such high hopes for this because I love everything Patrick Ta does, except this apparently. So in this you get a cream foundation and a finishing powder. So let's start with the cream foundation. It's okay. It's better if you apply it sheer. It's definitely comfortable, it's not super heavy on the skin, but it's not amazing. The powder, so when I hear that something is a finishing powder, I'm thinking it's going to be the lightest of lightweight powders, kind of like the Hourglass Ambient lighting powders, just super lightweight, very finely milled, and just kind of pull everything together. This powder wrecked the entire look for me. This powder settled directly into every single pore and left what looked like white dots on my face where my pores are. That was terrible, and it just made everything look super dry, and I felt like everything just broke up as well. When I did my initial wear test, I used the powder on one side and I just did the foundation on the other side. The side without the powder looked far superior than the side with. The side with the powder was a hot mess. This isn't a favorite. I did try wearing just the foundation alone. It's fine that way, but I would still much rather reach for my NARS or my Hourglass, or the next product we're going to talk about, which is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. This was amazing though. I'm not wearing it today. I was going to, but I actually went for my Hourglass instead. But this is an amazing foundation. So it comes in this really beautiful weighted bottle. It does come in a pump, and this looked beautiful on my skin. Definitely a medium coverage foundation. It lasts all day long. Though the staying power of this foundation is amazing. It looked almost as good at the end of the day as it did when I first put it on. It looks so good. I've worn it so many times since because I've really, really been enjoying it. I love the way it applies, especially with a brush, and I love the overall finish. It definitely has a natural finish. It just looks amazing. The only thing I don't love is that they tend to go by the shade numbering system of MAC. I feel like the majority of brands tend to consider foundations with a more yellowy undertone as being warm. The foundations that are labeled cool definitely have more of a pinky undertone. MAC does the exact opposite, and Haus Labs has followed their kind of shade numbering system. So that's just an important little piece of information that I wish I knew before I picked this up. However, I did go for a neutral shade. I went for the shade, oh no I didn't. I went for the shade 050 Fair Cool. I can still get away with this. This does still work for me. So I have been really, really loving this foundation. Natasha Denona also released her Dream collection this month. I didn't pick up the face trio in that collection or the lip gloss, so I picked up the liner, the lipstick, and the palette. I do love that soft matte texture. It's my favorite texture in the world. I will say on makeup it can be a little hard because it definitely does get dirty a lot easier, but I still love it. So again, this is in the shade Natasha. This is actually what I'm wearing today, paired with the Natasha lip liner, and it's got to be one of my new favorite lip combos. So I've been very loyal to my MAC lip combo that I've been wearing lately, but this is a good one. I really love this. This is like a perfect pinky brownie kind of nude, My Lips But Better type of shade, which is pretty much what I love about the shade Modesty from MAC, but this one is like that, but it's a little bit lighter. So I don't know, it's a perfect nude for me. I really love this one. And then of course I picked up the My Dream palette from Natasha. So this took a long time to come in, but it's a very beautiful palette. I really love the shade she chose with this one. I love how there's some purples in here, some more sort of pinks, and then you've got some browns. I really do love this. I'm still obsessed with the shade Spontaneous. It's still my favorite in the palette. And I love that you get a multi-chrome in here as well. I think that's a really nice touch, especially in one of her midi palettes. So I've really, really been loving this palette. I'm really excited. This is definitely among my favorite palettes that she's released, so I'm very pleased with this one. And the last palette we tried this month is the newest one from Urban Decay, and this is their collab with Robin Eisenberg. So she is an illustrator based out of LA, and they did a collab. I believe this is for the holidays. So this is definitely a very colorful palette, especially for me. But I definitely wanted to pick it up, and it was available super early, so I did jump on that, and I really do like this. I think it's really pretty. It is a little harder for me to work with because when it comes to a little bit bolder of colors, it's harder for me to figure out exactly what I should be doing. But like I mentioned in my review a lot, is that the Urban Decay formula isn't as bold as, say, you know, a Pat McGrath or an indie brand when it comes to their shimmers and their multi-chrome pigments. So this is a little bit more beginner friendly. So for that reason, I think this is a really nice palette. This is nice for me as somebody who doesn't tend to use a lot of color, but who does like to have a colorful palette to maybe change things up every once in a while. So I really do enjoy this. And then these shades on the end here really shocked me. I thought they were just straight up blues. They're not. These two right here kind of lean purple. They're very, very beautiful. I will say, in order to get the most punch out of the shimmers, I found I definitely needed to spray them. I did do a blue look initially, and I didn't spray them, and I should have. I feel like that definitely may have amped up the look a little bit, but I did also do a more pinky look, and I loved it. I do want to play it a little bit more with these basic browns. That's another thing I love about this palette, is that you do get half that is kind of pretty neutral, easy to work with, predictable, and then you get bolder this way if you want to step out of that comfort zone. And I think they did a great job with this one. I love the color story. I love that it's different and more bold for Urban Decay, especially in a naked palette. I was really excited to see this one. I think this is a nice change. Is it one that I'm going to reach for every single day? No. But it's one that I'm really going to enjoy as something that is different in my collection. This is a palette that adds to my collection, so for that reason I am very excited to have it. But that is it for me today. I feel like we tried out some really good products throughout the month of September. The holiday releases are in full swing, so I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about at the end of October. I think the Sephora sale is supposed to be starting at the end of October as well, so we're definitely going to have some stuff to talk about. But that is it for today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!